could change life's circumstance. Buy a mansion on the ocean, vacation at my summer ranch. I could throw a week-long party, quit my job at the factory.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Humanity Matters. Tonight's episode is called Be a Millionaire, Get Paid. And I just want to let you know that the information we provide on our show is credible, evidential, and reliable. And before I introduce the host of our show tonight, I just want to say a few shout-outs to Alex and Janet Shelton, and Tommy and Ashley and Chad Cole, and Alfred and Julian and Brandy and their family. And tonight's host of our show is Albert Torcaso.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I've been saying this for the last few Humanity Matters episodes, but tonight really is another historical day. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to first of all understand we're going to have fun tonight, but I need you to call me as fast as you possibly can at 412-231-2288. Now tonight, I made a bold claim. Be a millionaire, get paid. Be a millionaire, get paid. So that's a pretty bold claim. Can I back it up? Well, let me tell you something. We're going to have some fun tonight, but you're going to need to take some notes. And I understand that, you might be at the bar, you might be wherever you are. Try to record it. But if you don't get a chance to record it, do not worry, because starting, I would assume that in August, this will be the rebroadcast. And what you want to do is watch it every Wednesday at high noon, or it will be online on a lot of different websites. But tonight is not your usual night. See, tonight I am going to do something that hasn't really ever been done that much, probably in the history of television. I'm actually going to give you, through this book and other ways, give you a roadmap to become a millionaire. Yes, you heard me right. Give you a roadmap to become a millionaire. Now, I know that everybody's probably like, yeah, right. Well, first of all, let me tell you a couple of things I'm not going to do. I am not going to start an infomercial and tell you all these great things about making money online and all these other things. But if you really pay attention to an infomercial, they don't really teach you anything. They just blah, 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 blah. They try to sell you a product or a service. But do they teach you? No, they don't give you a roadmap. So tonight you're getting your roadmap. Tonight is your roadmap to wealth. Make no mistake. And yeah, I can back it up, because there's the Albert Torcaso humanitarian. There's the Albert Torcaso defiant mofo, many Fritos. There's the Albert Torcaso who takes no prisoners. There's the Albert Torcaso that tells the president to shut the heck up when he needs to, and I like the president. Yeah, there's a lot of Albert Torcasos, and I'm not speaking about the third, fourth, fifth person. So tonight is your night to make history. When we're done with this episode, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take notes if you can, record this if you can, but tonight, yes, tonight, I want you to take action. And if for some reason you can't, do it tomorrow. Because when you're done with this show, and stick around, get all your friends, tell the world if you can. Because when you're done with this episode, you're going to have a roadmap to wealth. Now, I can say a lot of things, but just like an infomercial, it's a waste of time. So no more wasting time. I'm getting to the French fries, the meat, the potatoes, the steak, and the vegetables, because it's time to get paid. Now, here we go. All right. Now, first of all, we all know about this book. We know that I've been talking about the book, The Automatic Millionaire. Well, what people don't understand is they think I'm advertising this book. I'm not getting paid a dime Why am I talking about this book in the last 3 months? There's a simple reason. This book provides you with a roadmap. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you can't go to the library and learn all the stuff that's in this book and still get a roadmap. But this book accounts for almost anybody at any financial level being able to become a millionaire. That's why I'm talking about this book. And you know, there may be rules against advertisement. So let's just say this. Try to get it at a library. Try to get it for free. Try to get it at a flea market. I don't care how you get the book. But I want to throw something at you. I'm going to give you another website. And this website, you're going to have a smile on your face. This website right now, if you will go there and sign up with an email address, which is finishrich.com, there's a newer book. I believe it may be 2 years old or something. I don't know. It's a brand new book. It's called finishrich.com. And if you give them your email address and start getting emails from David Bach, he's going to give you an entire book through email, through the ebook in a PDF file. You'll actually get a brand new 274-page book. Guess what it's called? Start Over, Finish Rich. Now, I'm guessing, and I didn't get a chance to read it yet, I'm guessing that that's for people who may have had declared bankruptcy. So he's actually providing you a chance to start over and finish rich. So what you want to do is go online, go to the library, go wherever you can, find out about David Bach. Now, there's other books, there's other people, there's other ways to get rich. But if you want your $1 million, tune in right now, because you're about to learn how to get it. Now, I'm not going to give you a teaser like the stupid so-called reality shows do. I'm not going to give you a teaser like the local newscast and national newscast do. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the truth. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm telling you the truth. You can become a millionaire, but it's going to take you 15 to 40 years depending on different variables. Now, you might say, why can't I do it right now? Well, in theory, you might be able to. But what we're going to do is we're going to base this on information obtained in the book and other places, and we're going to base it on at least 15 years, okay? At least 15. And basically, essentially, what I want to do is just get to the business at hand. So I need you to call 412-231-2288. But to start off, let me explain something to you. You're working at a fast food restaurant. You're making, let's say, I don't know what you would be making a month. Let's just say, hypothetically, you're lucky and you're making $800 to $1,000 a month. What you need to do, so you might want to take notes right now. What you need to do is this. You find out if they have a 401k plan or a retirement plan, and every single paycheck that you get, you want to take 10% of that paycheck, and we're going to get into how you can make yourself mentally be able to do this, but just take 10% of your paycheck every pay period, have it automatically deducted out of your pay, and put into the retirement account. Now, if your employer doesn't have that, you can do self-directed IRAs. You can do something called, I think it's called a SEP. It's in the book. I didn't get a chance to look at it lately. But what you want to do is make it automatic. Because once you make it automatic, you're never going to see that money because it's going to be pre-taxed and taken out before you get it. So it will be a non-taxable contribution, which, by the way, is a very, very good thing. But let's just say you make $800 a month. You want to put in at least $80 a month. Now, let's just say you put $80 a month in. That's all you can afford. Hey, it's better than nothing, right? It's pretty good, actually. let's say you get $80 a month. That comes out to about $960 a year. And that's all you can put in, $960 a year. If you do that for 5 years, you're going to have close to about $5,000. If you do that for 15 years, you're going to have roughly about $15,000. But let's round it off and say you put in, let's say you put in $1,000 a year, okay? We'll just round it off. Well, if you do that for 5 years, $5,000, $15,000. Now, you might say, well, I'm not really earning money. You're not telling me anything about getting rich because I can do that and put it in a regular bank account. That's not true. See, I am not going to get into everything simply because I'm not the expert on this particular thing. But what I can tell you is that if you do that and you get at least 5%, okay, or 10%, we'll go with 10% since he speaks about 10% in the book. You get that. In 15 years, you're going to have a lot more than $15,000. Now, I can't give you an exact figure. It's an estimate, but you're probably, for every $15,000, you're probably going to be making at least $5,000 to $15,000 or $20,000 off of that. Now, I can't give you the estimates. What I would recommend you do is get in touch with, maybe you can go to your local bank and ask to speak to their broker or their mutual fund person. And they can give you projections, because what that is that's going to entail, they'll be able to give you an estimate of how much you will make. But let's just say you had 15 years that you could save, and you were able to put in at least 10% of your income, or if you're blessed, maybe let's say $4,000 per year. If you only have 15 years, you're probably going to be making, when all is said and done, and because of compound interest and all that, you'd probably get about at least $250,000 to $500,000. Now, if you have 30 years, you're going to be looking at least $1 million. If you have 40 years, you're going to be looking at $1.5 to $2 million. Now, what's beautiful about this is, if you will get this book, if you will get it for free or however you get it legally and peacefully, there are actually pie charts in here, and you can actually see what you're going to get. But you know, that's not necessarily why I like what's in this book. I said he gives you a roadmap, and he does. He not only tells you what might be a good investment, say mutual funds or what have you, but he even tells you, make sure it's automatic, which you do want to do, but he'll tell you other options, and he'll tell you pretty much almost every way there is to get wealthy by saving, investing, whatever. It's in the book. So let's say you're not thrilled with mutual funds. He speaks about bonds. He speaks about J bonds. He speaks about I bonds. He even speaks about stocks and all that kind of stuff. So let's go with our first call and see what they have to say. Caller number one. Oop, caller number one.
Hi, it's your sister
Hello.
Diane.
Hello, Sister Diane. I would like other callers, please. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I like that book. This guy have many other books, and if you want me to write notes, you got to spell all the words. You know I can't spell that well.
Well, I can't spell it. Diane, we're not going to have a personal call. This is a business.
But happy 4th of July to all the callers out there.
Yep.
And
Happy
wear
4th of
that
July.
seatbelt and root for the Pirates tonight, and be careful out there, because it's the first day of the regatta and it ends on the 4th of July.
Okay, Diane, we're going to get going
and be
now.
careful out there, everybody, and wear that seatbelt.
All right, forget about it. Forget about it. Good night, everybody. Forget about it. Oh, forget about it, ladies and gentlemen. Diane is right. Some people may have a hard time spelling, and that's okay. And we need our next caller when they decide to call in, 412-231-2288. And I'm not trying to rush anybody. I just want to get as many calls as we can. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying. he talks about every aspect. But you know what? He gives you a roadmap. And that's what's important. So let's not reiterate that. Let me give you an example. We used the fast food worker. Now let's say there's a young man that happens to be here today, and he is doing an internship. He's 16 years old. If he will get a job, or I should say when he does, if he will heed this advice, he will have at least 40 years of investing, and I will get to that call in a minute. He will have 40 years of investing. If he does that and he gets a yield of at least 10%, let's say all he ever did was the mutual fund or the IRA, and he contributed every pay period automatically. He set it up that it was automatically deducted. Let's say that that's all he did. He didn't bother to do other steps. He would be looking at least, if he does it for 40 years, we're looking at least and it's in the book, $1.2 million. So if he did it for 40 years, he would have roughly $2 million, okay? Now, if he did that, plus he decided to own a home, he would be looking at well over $2 million. If you did it for 30 years, you would most likely have $1 million. If you did it for 15 years, you would have at least $500,000. Now, the fact of the matter is, I can speak with expertise to some degree on this because I myself have had a mutual fund in the past, and a little bit later, I'm going to talk to my fellow needs-based disabled Americans who are not allowed to have a retirement by law and who are not allowed to basically have a future or a life by law. Those may be controversial statements and inflammatory statements, but it's a fact. But we're going to get to that. But before we do, I believe Annette has a job. It says something about a call. Can we get this call, please?
Caller, you're on the air. Can we? Hello?
Caller, are you there?
Caller?
Going once. Caller going twice. Uh-oh. Caller, are you there? Did you get lost?
Oh, that was my ear.
Hey, sorry about your ears. Sorry about your dang ears. No, I'm sorry.
Hi. I want to thank all the troops because it's the 4th of July weekend, and they deserve some recognition actually, because it is the 4th of July, and it's because of them we have independence.
Okay. We're going to have financial independence, too.
And you said hello to some people. Well, you left some names out. You forgot Steve and Nikki, and hello to Chucky. Happy birthday to Chucky. Happy birthday to Denise, Trinity, Jan.
All right, keep going. What's your question?
Okay, you're talking about all these books. Does this guy write more than one book? And I'm sure there's more than one book that
Yes, he
tells
did.
you how to be a millionaire. And how do you know if all these books that you're talking about, if people are going to go out and spend money on these books, what if they don't really work?
I guarantee you that if you will take the action, you will get the money. I can say that, and I can say that because I know from personal experience. That's a good question. But actually, I am going to go ahead and let the call go, and I will talk to you personally. I will answer this question through the TV. But that's a very good question, Donna, and I very much thank you for it.
You're welcome. And do you get any commissions for selling any of these books being sold?
And it's not about selling the book. It's about changing lives. I want people to get this through their head. This is not about the book. This is not about me. This is about all of us. And it's actually about independence. And believe me, you just gave me a vehicle in which to talk about how we really don't have independence in America. So I'm going to go ahead and go forward, Donna. So I have to say my nice new tagline, everybody. Forget about it.
Why would you tell?
I'll tell you about the forget about it later. Don't get mad, Donna. Forget about it's a new tagline. I'll talk to you about that later, Donna. But I would like some more callers. But my forget about it's kind of a new tagline thing going on. Okay, I'll tell you about the independence if I get to it and how we really don't have it. Now, Donna brought up a good point. How do you know if you get these books, or any book, if they work? Well, here's how you know. I had a mutual fund. And I had it, what I did was I would automatically have deducted $25 every month. Yeah, it's a little bit personal information. Let me tell you, I've done this for about 20, 25 years. Now, at the time that I went into the bank, which at that time was, I believe it was Equibank, and it might have even been Seneca. It was one of them. They've been changed so much. But at any rate, I went in there, and just at $25 a month, because of the percentage that I was getting on my mutual fund, at that time, they told me I would end up with at least $750,000 at just $25 a month, which of course is $300 a year. So that's $25 a month could have actually got me $750,000. That's how I know it's going to work. How you have to do it though, and this is so important for Donna, and I'm sorry it seems like I'm getting rid of my callers soon. I need more calls because otherwise I'm going to be canceled in terms of my live show, and I won't let myself be canceled. And I don't care who hears it. I'm just telling you, I'm not getting canceled because I will get some live calls, so start calling. But at any rate, here's the reason that I know it's going to work. Because I would have had the $325,000 had I been allowed to keep going at it. But you need to make it automatic. And you need to decide, can you really afford to do 10%? So forget the books for a minute. Let's Albert Torcaso time. What's that mean? Well, I have to ask you a question. How about getting a notebook and tomorrow you go to work, maybe you work for PCTV, maybe you work for Sears, maybe you work for, I don't know, the Humane Society, maybe you work for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't care. What you do is I want you to go out and spend your money the normal way you do. You spend it on, let's say you spend it on a latte, or maybe you spend it on a soft drink. Maybe you spend it on a bottle of alcohol. I don't care. Record what your day, well, don't do it if you're working. Don't be drinking alcohol if you're working, but take your normal everyday expenses. And then the next day, do that. Keep a record of it. And then do that for 1 week. This is what I'm asking you to do. This is what David advises. Take it for a week. Everything you spend, even if you spend a penny, write it down. And then take those monies, calculate it. And I guarantee you that when you are done with your daily expenses, you're going to say, wow, I had more money than I thought I did. So take that. Now then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make some decisions. Maybe you're going to have to go with the less expensive item. Maybe instead of, a $5 cup of coffee, you have to go with a $2.50 cup of coffee. Okay, that may happen. You may have to reduce your expenses. But keep in mind, and Donna, this is how it will work. Keep in mind, by doing that, you are delaying immediate gratification, but you are putting yourself in line to have a future where you will have guaranteed income. Some of the other things you want to do is absolutely make sure that you have a health care plan in place. He doesn't mention this, but a health care plan in place. And if you don't have one, what you might want to do is take 5%, which would be a total of 15%, because you want 10% for your investment plan, and you would put in an extra 5% in what you would call your emergency fund. Again, have it be done automatically. That way, you would really have it. But you also want to work on getting and owning a home. Now, why do I refer to this book so much? Because he talks about how people can actually own a home. Now, you might say, well, where am I going to come up with the down payment? This man does answer that question. There are government programs that can help you get 95% of the down payment. You may even be able to get 100%. He has that in there. This is one of the most complete books I've ever seen. Now, there's a lot more to it, but here's another thing he teaches you. When you have your emergency plan, let's say you want to have money for a rainy day, he actually goes about telling you and gives you suggestions where you might want to do it. Like he talks about, for example, you wouldn't want to have it in a regular savings account or a regular checking account because you're not collecting any interest. He wants you to be able to collect some interest. So he goes into a part in the book, and we're dissecting the book, and we're dissecting other things, but he actually goes into it about looking into money market accounts, which does give you a little bit better in interest. But again, keep in mind that in this book, and I'm sure in other books, there are a pyramid. He not only tells you how to invest, he gives you information on the companies, he gives you contact websites, he gives you contact addresses and phone numbers. Pretty much the reason why I keep telling people find a way to get this book is because this is a roadmap. This is not an infomercial. This is a roadmap. There's a difference. I'll give you an example. I'm going to get to Annette real quick, and then I'll give you an example. Go ahead.
What do people do if the information in the book is out of date and they really want the information?
That's an excellent question. Now, with regards to this book and this type of book, the information could be out of date, but the information is still relevant based on the principles. The principles will always remain the same.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, there was a question by Donna, did this man write any other books? He has written at least about 10 books that I know of. He has many different books. You want to go to his website, finishrich.com. And why I recommend that is he will give you, if you sign up for email, he will give you a free book, which is Start Over, Finish Rich. I mentioned that earlier. Why that's important is, what about people that have bankruptcies? Yeah. What about people who knows what? So, but here's the thing. You know, I'm going to tell you something else about this book, and I'm not promoting the book. This is not a boring read. It's not a read that's boring. I mean, I'm not Mr. Finance. Look, I've read a lot of books that I was like, oh, come on. This is worse than watching paint dry. This book is entertaining, and quite frankly, it's exciting. But let's say, pretend this book don't exist. What you do, go to the library. Learn about stocks. Learn about investing in mutual funds. Learn about investing in bonds. Learn about investments as a whole. It doesn't matter what plan you have in place. Do you want to become a millionaire? You've got a roadmap. Here's what you do. You make it automatic. You take your 10%. And you know what? As you start getting wealthier, a little bit, you know, maybe you get a big raise. Increase that to 15% and increase it to 20%. You'll get there faster. Let's say you don't want to wait 40 years to become a millionaire. You don't have to. That's the beautiful part. You can increase it. Or let's say right now you can't afford to get a home even with a down payment. But when you can afford it, you do it. And again, you make it automatic. But here's another thing. Even make your mortgage payment be deducted from your account automatically. Now, here's the other thing. If you get a mortgage, you want to pay it automatically, but you want to talk to your mortgage company, for those of you who already have a mortgage company, see if they will take bi-monthly payments and pay an extra, if you can afford it, pay an extra mortgage payment per month because what that will do is it will take your principal down. And if you will do this, you will save possibly over $100,000 in your mortgage, and you will reduce the average 30-year mortgage to about 21 years just by paying one more payment. Again, these things are addressed in these books. Now, I would like some more callers, and I hope that people are listening because this is a life changer. It may seem that I'm being boring. Guess what? Boring is okay if you become a millionaire. Boring is fine. I don't want to have to worry about my money. I want my money to grow, and I want it to grow without me being worried about it. So boring's all right, but we do need some more callers. Let me ask you a question out there. How would you like to not have to worry about money ever again? That's what we're really talking about here. How would you like to then be able to set yourself up knowing you would be able to spend time with your family and never have to worry about it again? Remember, money is not anything more than a toll. It is a form of a transaction you use for a transaction instead of bartering. But, you know, I want to try to make this a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more entertaining. I think we covered most of the points. I'm going to look over here.
You didn't.
But let's see. I didn't cover something. Let's see. Take it to Annette. I don't know what I didn't cover. Annette, start speaking. I don't know what I didn't cover.
According to the U.S. government, 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Okay, that's an excellent point. Ladies and gentlemen, are you living paycheck to paycheck right now? If you got fired, if you were terminated from your job, how much money do you have in any account for an emergency? Do you have an emergency plan? That's addressed in these types of books. But let me throw something at you also. Now, I'm going to have to be very careful here. Right now, we're talking about how you can become a millionaire, and it seems like the distant future, 15 years, 30, 40 years. Seems kind of long, right? Well, I just want you to know there are ways for you to get wealthy relatively soon. One of the ways you can do that is getting involved in online businesses. And the only thing I'm going to say about that is there are things that I cannot tell you on this show, but there are things that if you look for me online, you are going to learn. And quite honestly, I have an agenda. I want something in return, yep. First of all, I want more calls, 412-231-2288. Come on, people, I know you're out there. Hey, Glenn Seals, give me a call. Bob Johnson, give me a call. Person on the street, give me a call. I have my agenda, and here's what it is. I want to change the face of this nation. Legally and peacefully, I want to start a financial revolution. That's right, a financial revolution. You heard it here on Humanity Matters. You see, I want you to get wealthy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't want to get wealthy, but I know I'm going to get there. But I want everybody who hopefully is listening in, and even those who aren't yet, I want you to get rich. I have an agenda. I'm not gonna, what's the word? Sugarcoat it. No, I want you to get wealthy. Now, do you want to get wealthy? Are you going to say, I'd like to have $1 million? Well, do something about it. Start your future right now. What are you waiting for? You looking at the economy lately? Do you know the economy is bad? Damn, I must not have got that memo. Did you know the economy is bad?
I've been on that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you're brainwashed thinking that the economy is bad?
Well,
Do you believe the economy is bad? Anybody up in here believe the economy is bad? Ask me if I believe the economy is bad.
It can improve.
Is the economy bad? Yes or no?
No.
Well, wait a minute. You just said it was. Is it or isn't it?
Well, I said
Make
it
up your
is.
mind, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it is.
You think it is?
Yeah.
You feeling all right?
Yeah.
You sure you're all right?
Yeah.
Callers, you better call. This woman may not be feeling good. Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you know what 5 plus 5 is?
10.
You sure it's 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad she knows it's 10. But you think the economy's bad? Get the heck out of here. That's so funny. Why am I laughing, ladies and gentlemen? You know who the economy's bad for? It's bad for Eric. It's bad for Albert. It's bad for all my people, all my friends, all my family. But it's not bad. It's not bad, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on a minute. What is he smoking? Nothing. You've been lied to. You've been lied to. Did you know that, and this is something for you to know, did you know corporations right now are actually, and we're going to get this call in a second, do you know corporations right now are holding in their savings, guess what they're saving? Guess what they have in their savings right now? Corporations around the country, guess what they have in their savings?
Billions of dollars.
Are you kidding me?
Trillions.
Corporations have over $9 trillion collectively in savings that they're sitting on. $9 trillion. Does that sound like an economy that's bad? Let me get to this call in a second. Now, remember how you just said the economy's bad? These corporations have $9 trillion in the bank. But check this out. According to the United States government, people in America collectively have over $680 trillion. $680 trillion. I'd like to know where it is because I don't have it. $680 trillion. If you have $9 trillion in the bank and Americans have $680 trillion, does that sound like a bad economy?
No.
Or does that sound like a lot of BS?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of BS to me. So let's get this wonderful
You got a
flashing
point.
call. How about you get the call?
Caller.
And I hope they don't believe the economy's bad. Find out who they is.
Caller, you're on.
Hello?
Hello. How you doing?
Hello, this is Lucius Delaney speaking.
Who is
I
this?
was just listening. Yeah, Lucius Delaney. I'm watching the show right now.
Okay.
But I see that there's
appreciate
a little
that.
delay. So what I was calling about was that I think that was a good idea that you had and giving us, the watchers, about how to budget your money better and the difference between business and private monies.
Right. Well,
And I'm still listening, and I'm picking up a little tips that I won't hear on the normal stations.
well, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Is there any way you can lower your TV and just listen to us while you're on the phone through there? Because I want the audience to be able to hear you, and I want to hear you. Let me ask you a question. Do you currently have a retirement plan? And I'm asking you for a reason. Do you have anything that you're saving for retirement? At this time?
That's most definitely I do.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Now, since you're saving some money for retirement, would you say that what I'm telling people today is true or not true?
That's true.
Okay.
You do have to watch your money and plan for the future.
That's right. So, now, have you ever gotten involved with mutual funds or did you try some other route?
Yes, like I work at Walmart,
Okay.
and that's one company that does handle that type of situation.
Okay, that's great to hear. All right, well, I'm glad to hear that. We're having a little bit of static, but let me just say this. You know, I would like you, if you are willing to do this, I would definitely want you to check into that website, finishrich.com, and also check into Honestly, I would go to whatever financial establishment that you're in, like your bank or whatever. Find out about other things that you can get. Now, I want to tell you, I'm going to talk a little bit about J bonds and I bonds, and I might get it mixed up only because they work differently. But let me just recommend that in addition to what you're doing now, unless you have at least 10% that you're having taken out pre-taxed out of your account for the caller, unless you're actually doing that now, I want you to actually increase, if you can, increase your contribution, because every penny that you increase, a lot of corporations will match that. So you actually do get a really good deal there. Is our caller still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Okay, and also...
And matter of fact, I listened to your example of taking out $25
Right.
per pay.
And I still do that, even though I'm not
And
allowed to have
I'm in
a
that
life.
category too.
Say this again?
I'm in that category too, that I take out at least $25 to $50 per pay.
There you go. I'm proud of you. I appreciate that. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on real quick because I have to talk about how the United States government...
Thank you for fielding the call.
Well, thank you.
What's your name?
What did you say your first name was?
Well, my name, to the lady
Okay.
and you, my name is Lucius Delaney.
There you go.
I'm from the South Side.
Well, hopefully we'll see you at that big box store one of these days soon. Come up and say hi if we see you.
I know that you're on the North Side.
I didn't hear you say that again.
You are on the North Side. The station is on the North Side.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and move forward. But I thank you for your call. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we're going to change some things. Oh, we got another call. Okay, well, we got another call. Let's go to the next call. Hello, next call.
Sister again, Diane.
Uh-oh, sister
How
again.
does
We can't have
this help
repeats.
a little business like Gus. And I'm not saying what he does, the ice cream man or any of them. How does that book help a little person, or how would this book can help our sister, Rose, because she works from paycheck to paycheck?
Okay, well, Diane, I'm going to have to move forward, but I will answer
how
your
can
question.
it help this book help a little business? You know what I mean?
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
You know, like Gus, the one that sells popcorn.
Right, the guy that sells
And the
popcorn is a
ice cream
millionaire
man you
already.
like.
Let me just tell you, the guy that sells popcorn is already a millionaire, but we won't go there. Didn't you know that?
I don't think so, but
Oh,
he's
he
a
is,
little,
but we
he's
won't
a
go
little
there.
guy. How does this book help him?
All right, well, I got to say forget about that, Diane, and we'll talk to you about that tonight. I'll explain how the book helps him, though, I promise. But at any rate, forget about that one. It's a good point. Okay, first of all, I have some great news for you small business owners. You probably already know this, but if you didn't, here's a good question. How does it help my sister Rose? First of all, if Rose will have her employer, if they have a IRA or some kind of 401k, she can contribute 10% of her income. If she can afford it, she can contribute 10% of her income, and that will build her some wealth. Now, with regards to small business, and I'm sure everybody knows this, but in case you didn't, if you are an American citizen, you can contribute up to, I believe it's $5,000 a year of pre-tax contributions. Now, if you are a business, you can contribute up to $45,000 each year. That's right, $45,000. So if you're a business or a small business, such as the popcorn guy and the ice cream guy, if you're a small business, you can actually contribute up to $45,000. And again, you want to talk to your financial institution, and that usually is a free consultation. You could even call some of the mutual funds listed in here and online, and he even gives you some really great websites in here. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to do the homework on that, but it's in there. So he will tell you where to go, how to set it up. But if you actually own a small business, let's say maybe you're selling coffee. Let's say maybe you're selling products door to door, old-time door to door, or even online. It doesn't matter what your business is. from, if it is an actual registered business, you don't have to only contribute $5,000 a year. Because you own a business, you can go up to at least $45,000 per year. And that's a combination of your mutual fund, your bonds, whatever. Now, I said that I was going to get to the mutual funds. The bonds. We only have about 10 minutes, so we're going to have to kind of move around here a little bit. Let me just say this. There's a difference in bonds, okay? And I believe it's the J bonds and E bonds, or I bonds. It's in there. I really don't remember on that one. I'm sorry. But the important thing is, she's going to take my book on TV, live TV, just take my book. Any rate, can you believe that, Devin? She just took my book on live TV. Oh, my goodness. Any rate, if you will check out the bonds, there are two different types of bonds, and the U.S. government, well, there's probably a lot more, but he spoke about two. One of the bonds, you would pay the amount of money that you want the bond to be worth. And after 5 years, you would get at least that amount. In other words, say you wanted to buy a $50, I see that,
They're
10 minutes, thank you.
bonds.
Okay, EE and I bonds, isn't it? Or is
Yes,
it J?
EE bonds and I bonds.
Okay, well, why don't we defer to Annette? She could tell us the difference real quickly. Tell us about the I bonds, because one of them gives you the value that you pay, and you pay the full value outright, which can also be pre-tax contributions, but you pay the value outright. Now, the other one is, which is the E bond, that one takes 30 years to yield. So you can buy the E bond for $50, but it will say $100 on it.
Well, I bonds are referred to as inflation bonds.
Right.
And EE bonds are called patriot bonds.
Okay, but the one of them that takes the full value, is that the I bond? Or is that the E bond? Because I believe the E bond, you only get half of the value.
The E bond rate was 3.42%.
That's not what I'm asking you, but that's okay. That's all right, let me take care of that. Let me take this up, fix this one up. Here's what I'm saying. If you get the E bond, you can buy a $100 U.S. savings bond for $50, so for half. But the problem with that is it takes at least 30 years before you get the full $100. Now with the other bond, if you want a $100 bond, you pay $100. After 5 years, any and all interest will be due you. You can actually, after 5 years, collect that and get the interest. So let's say you buy a $100 bond, the I bond. Let's say you buy a $100 I bond. You have it in there for, 15 years, 5 years, whatever. Let's say, hypothetically, you only had it in there for 5 years, and it earned $50. Let's just pretend that it earned $50. That would mean you would get, for $100, you will have earned a return on investment of $50. Now, it could be more. It all depends. But my point is, if you start doing this, and you do it automatically, which the U.S. government allows you to do, and all this stuff, you can do it automatically. And it can be pre-tax, which means the government don't get that part of your money. It comes to you. And you can have that, and it's another way of avoiding the government getting your money. I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. But what that means is you do it all automatically. So what we're talking about is a good return on investment. But at any rate, let me, with the next 6 minutes, tell you a little sob story. Listen up, because it's a life changer. Now look, this is the deal. If you are a needs-based disabled American and you are on Social Security or disability, and you haven't earned what they call Social Security credits from previously working, you have a limit that you're allowed to have in assets. You're only allowed to have $2,000 in any bank or retirement fund or whatever. So currently, right now, the United States government says, if you need help, you don't deserve a retirement, you don't deserve a life, and in fact, you deserve to live in poverty the rest of your life. I mean, it sounds inflammatory, but it's a fact. That's what happened to me. Remember earlier I told you I put in $25 a month? I still do. But the reason why I don't have the money is if I get up to $1,300, if I ever get to that point, I have to take that money out because the United States government says you're disabled, you're not allowed to have more than $2,000. So I want to give hope to the people that are in this situation. What you're going to have to do is find a way to actually get off Social Security. And I have to throw this in there. I'm not thrilled with the president right now because they are trying to arrest this Edward Snowden, who basically told the truth on their spy ring, and they want to get him for treason, basically. So I'm not thrilled with the president, and I personally think that every American needs to say to the president and to Congress, let this man go. He told the truth. You're wrong for breaking the Constitution. But I'm not thrilled with the president right now. I'm not thrilled with Congress. But let me tell you how this relates directly to you. Because of the president, every American that is needs-based disabled can now have a future. Because the president brought forth the Affordable Health Care Act and Congress voted for it. Yeah, the health care, Obamacare, everybody that's against it, it's a freedom maker. I'm not going to elaborate too much, but let me explain why. If you get off Social Security, if you're able to, maybe you get an online business, maybe you become rich from, let's say, an online business or selling coffee. Before, because of your medical condition, you would have had what is called a pre-existing condition. Before the Obamacare, which I don't like calling it, but before the Affordable Health Care Act, you would have to sacrifice your fortune because you had a pre-existing condition. You couldn't buy health care insurance at any price. But because of that law that passed in 2010, you now can actually get it. They can't discriminate against you because of a pre-existing condition. So in effect, let's say you inherit $1 million. Well, you take your $1 million, say bye-bye Social Security, bye-bye whatever kind of railroad or whatever I'm getting, railroad funds, and you buy your own health care insurance. That gives you freedom. That is the freedom train. The Affordable Health Care Act amounts to freedom. So for my needs-based disabled Americans, I want you to work on getting off of the government's payroll with respect to you having a financial free life. You can do it. We have the 4th of July in 2 days. This is taped July the 2nd. In 2 days, we celebrate what we claim is our independence. But if the needs-based American can't have a financial future and can't have more than $2,000, how are any of us free? And if 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck and don't even have money in their pocket, how are you free? Very probing questions, aren't they? Yeah, we got about 2 minutes, so let me finish this up. Now, let me say this. I'm not allowed to tell you that if you follow me on the internet, you just might find some brand new opportunities in your life. I can't tell you what they are, but I can tell you that if you look me up, Albert Torcaso on the internet, let's just say that I'm about to change lives. I'm not going too far. I'm just telling you, I am going to be a millionaire. No doubt about it. With that, instead of saying forget about it, thanks for the callers, and thank you for being brave enough to change your life. And I think Annette wants to say something before we go. Real fast, we only have 30 seconds.
Well, I hope a lot of you were listening to this episode because it benefits you if you have been. And you really should consider your future because
hurry up, we're running out of time.
because it's very important that you do.
Okay, here you
And
go. Just remember.
I suggest that you read these books because they are roadmaps and they can help you to get you on your way to
Okay, we gotta go,
financial freedom and wealth.
All right, this is what I want her actually to say. Remember that you and
humanity
and all forms of life really does matter.
If I had $1 billion, I could change life's circumstance. Buy a mansion on the ocean, vacation at my summer ranch. I could throw a week-long party, quit my job at the factory, living easy and free. Oh, how happy I could be if I had $1 billion.